What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles. And today I have a fun discussion / opinion type video for you concerning your points and your miles. Now before I get started, I want to give credit for the idea for the video. See, around 3 weeks ago, I made a community post asking if you had to dump 100,000 city thank you points, how would you do it? Choices were cash them out, KLM Flying Blue / Air France, Choice Hotels, or Turkish Miles and Smiles. Well, the leader with 36% of the vote was Air France, KLM Flying Blue, and for good reason. It's a great program with tons of availability for flights to Europe and domestically on Delta. Well, today I was reading one of my favorite blogs, The Frequent Miler, and I see an article written by Nick Reyes, obviously of The Frequent Miler, about where he would dump his miles if he had 90 days to transfer them. And he gave us choices and reasons why for each of the major issuers. Today I want to piggyback off his article, and I want to talk about what I would do if I had to clean out the points account of my Citi Thank You points, American Express membership rewards, my Chase Ultimate Rewards account, and my Capital One miles. I think this is a super fun exercise, and the goal here, besides having a little fun, is to get folks thinking about these different programs. We have millions of different YouTube videos on how to earn points and miles, but we don't exactly have as many talking about how we like to redeem them. Now, obviously, Nick Reyes from The Frequent Miler is exponentially smarter and better in the points and miles game than I am, but I will try to do my best. And remember, we all redeem our points and miles differently for so many different reasons. None of us travel exactly the same. So if this idea sounds good, not only do I want you to put your answers of where you would dump your points in the comments below, but I want you to slap that like button. And if you like this video, and if you want to see more videos on credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel, then subscribe to my little channel. And with all that out of the way, let's get started. Okay guys, here are the parameters. You need to completely drain your account, and you only have a few days to do it. So there won't be a lot of time to plan redemptions. You just need to pick the program you think you'll be able to get the most use of in the future, or near future, depending on if the points expire or not. If the program has a cash out option, I may mention this as well, but since most of us watching this particular video like to travel, the points will probably be a better idea. Most of us here will agree that 100,000 points cashed out for $1,000 isn't close to the value we would get when transferred to a partner. Okay, let's begin with the program that I asked about 3 weeks ago. Citi Thank You points. I do have a couple of Citi cards, and I do have a decent stash of thank you points. But if I had to dump the whole lot, I would, well, let's start with the runner-up and why. Choice privileges. I know, Luke, you and the Choice points, and you don't even stay at Choice Hotels. Yeah, I know, but Citi transfers to Choice at a rate of 1 to 2. I have around 100,000 Citi Thank You points, and when I look at Choice properties, which for me means Cambria or Ascend collections domestically, I know that I can get at least 1 cent per point, and sometimes 2. So transferring them at that ratio means I can easily get 2 to 4 cents per thank you point. In places like Scandinavia and even Tokyo, I'd still have some great opportunities, and I mentioned Tokyo because my wife isn't interested in going there, so that would be a great time to stay at some of those economical properties. But Choice didn't win this battle. I would choose Avianca Life Miles for this one. Life Miles do expire rather quickly if there's no activity in your account, but since they also partner with American Express and Capital One, I figure I can always transfer a few thousand over every time there's a bonus, and that would keep the account alive. I also think I could execute a great redemption before I ever needed to do that. See, Avianca is a Star Alliance partner, and I've seen so many great award seats to Europe, so I could plan something right now. There seems to always be availability to Portugal, Belgium, Switzerland, and even Vienna, Austria, and most of those are around 63,000 life miles, business class one way. Avianca doesn't pass on carrier fees, so I feel like I could use these points quickly and for a big league redemption without feeling the pressure. Honorable mention here is Turkish Miles and Smiles. As powerful as this program is, I feel like Avianca might be a little more versatile for me, and I will admit this. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with Turkish as a program, and under these circumstances, I'd want to pick a program I'm more familiar with and I know will be easy to use. Guys, I also want to mention that if you are interested in applying for or just want more information on the cards that earn these transferable currencies, like American Express MR points or Chase UR points, then feel free to check out my new organized card link in the description below. Using my link really supports the channel and it allows me to provide you with these videos without sponsorship. And I know you guys prefer it that way. What about Chase Ultimate Rewards? So while Chase has great partners, let's not kid ourselves. This is the only real easy one of the bunch. Those Ultimate Reward points are going straight to Hyatt. I bag on Hyatt credit cards and the program a lot and how everyone fawns over the globalist status that most of them don't even have, but it's a clear winner here. Anyone and everyone can get great and consistent value with this partner. Hyatt is probably the only hotel program that I would transfer points to at a 1-to-1 ratio. And while it probably won't knock my Aunt Connie's socks off with the cents per point, I know it will be enough to experience aspirational stays, or it could be a ton of economical stays, and it'll save me plenty of money. Hyatt is the clear winner here. The runner-up, if for some reason I decided to never stay at Hyatt's, then I think the next safest bet is Air Canada's Aeroplan. I've used Aeroplan a few times, and they offer some big league redemptions for very good prices. From flights to Europe to Asia, you'll be able to book plenty of routes on Star Alliance partners. It's a very sensible choice if you like to fly international business, and I would not be mad about having a surplus of Aeroplan points. So now we're on to Capital One miles, and I'm willing to bet that we have a lot of people watching this video that have gotten into the Capital One ecosystem recently and even gotten the Capital One Venture X, but they're still learning the points and miles game. So if I had to dump all my Capital One miles quickly, where would they go? Well, this is where we revisit Air Canada's Aeroplan. The program is just too strong to ignore. I'd probably use the points to fly business class to Europe, but there are also plenty of options to Asia. One of my favorite redemptions I did was JFK to Frankfurt on Singapore Airlines using Aeroplan points. I think I'd like to take a similar trip, but maybe try Washington Dulles to somewhere else in Germany on Lufthansa. That way I get to experience some cool lounges and in an airline that I have not flown yet. Other programs besides Capital One have Aeroplan as a partner, so it should be easy to plus up the stash when I need it. Runner up, Air France KLM Flying Blue is a close second here. For me, they don't seem to have as many direct routes to Europe, but if you don't mind connecting in Paris or Amsterdam, then the world is your oyster, or at least Europe is your oyster. They have awesome flights all over Europe if you don't mind the surcharges, which can get kind of expensive. I think the trade-off is all the availability and the monthly promos. I'm a big fan of Flying Blue. And I saved the program with the most partners for last, American Express. I also feel like American Express might be the best program for you to amass tons of miles or points. So this might feel like the most important choice of the entire video. If I had to dump all my membership rewards into a program, it would be Delta Airlines. Ha! I got you. Just kidding. I'm not transferring to Delta ever. Again, I am going with Aeroplan. There are some seriously great partners here, but for me, it's just too easy to deal with Aeroplan. I have had to cancel Aeroplan bookings before, and I have had to deal with their customer service before, and I am satisfied with how they handled their business. I feel like their business class tickets to Europe for 60,000 points really fits my travel style, and they have tons of business class flights to South America on United that I would be very interested in. So again, Aeroplan is just too tough to beat. Runner up for Amex. I know a lot of folks will say ANA, but I'm going to again admit I don't have the experience with ANA to dump a lot of points over there, so I'd have to stick with something safer for me, and that would be, again, Air France, KLM, Flying Blue, or Avianca. I have no doubt that ANA has some amazing redemptions, but I'm just not there yet with what I'm comfortable gambling on. I know that with Air France or Avianca, I'm redeeming for life-changing experiences, and I could be missing out by not using ANA, but I'm okay with that. There you go, folks. If I had to dump my points and miles quickly. I would like to again state that inspiration and the idea for this video came from an article written by Nick Reyes of The Frequent Miler. I have a ton of respect for those guys, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm ripping them off. And if it looks like Nick and I had some of the same picks, it could be because we travel somewhat similar. We're both married with kids, so that does factor in. In any case, I want to remind you that if you want more information on the cards that earn these transferable currencies, please check out my card link in the description below. And if you've stayed around all the way to the end, I thank you and I appreciate every single one of you.